Good morning, children. In the before class, you people have studied about the different ecosystems. So, different ecosystems, example, forest ecosystem, Greenland ecosystem, desert ecosystem, then aquatic ecosystem. There are different ecosystems which already you have learned in the before class. So when you come to the ecosystem, what are the major components which we can find in the ecosystem? So there are mainly two components which we can find in an ecosystem, that is biotic and abiotic components. That is biotic and abiotic components. So about this also we have explained in the previous class. So let us revise once again. What are biotic components and what are abiotic components? Biotic components means the components which are having the life will come under the biotic components. So best example for biotic components is plants and animals. Next come to the abiotic components which are not having any life, but they are also very important in an ecosystem for a good survival. So when you come to the abiotic components, best example is air, water and soil. Air, water and soil are the best examples for the abiotic components. So these biotic and abiotic components you can find in a ecosystem. In every ecosystem corresponding or responding to the nature and climatic condition, we can find different biotic components and different abiotic components in different ecosystem. Now, when you come to the biotic and abiotic components, these biotic components are dependent on the abiotic component and abiotic components are dependent on the biotic component. So, without these biotic, abiotic cannot be there, and without abiotic, biotic cannot survive. So these biotic and abiotic components are interdependent one and the other. So now let us start with the biotic components. Afterwards we can discuss about the abiotic components. When you come to the biotic components, already I said plants and animals are the best example for the biotic components. So when you come to the plants and animals, these plants and animals are also interdependent between themselves. These plants are dependent on animals and animals are dependent from the plants. They are interdependent on one and the other for their survival. What is the most important thing for the interdependence of plants and animals on one and the other is one, space, second one mainly shelter, and third one is the reproduction. So space, shelter and reproduction. These three are very important for the interdependence of plants and animals on one another. So now when you come to the plants, first let us start with the plants. Now for these plants and animals, for their survival they require energy. For their survival, they require energy. If there is a sufficient energy, then only they can lead a good life, a healthy life. So from where these plants and animals get the energy? So these animals especially, if you take the animals will get the energy from the plants. So plants will get the energy from the food which they prepare through the photosynthesis. So plants and animals require energy for their survival. So when you come to the animals are mostly dependent on the plants for their survival. Animals for their survival, they require the energy. From where they will get the energy? They get the energy from the food. So how we get the food, or how the animals obtain the food? The animals obtain the food from the plants. How the plants will get the food material means through a process called photosynthesis. So through the photosynthesis, plants will prepare their food material by using water, carbon dioxide and some of the minerals, and some of the minerals they will utilize and prepare the food material in presence of sunlight. In presence of sunlight, they prepare the food and stores the food in that body. We animals depend on the plants for their food material. So plants are also known as autotrophs. Autotrophs. Why? Because they will prepare their own food material without depending on the other animals or other living organisms. So when you come to these plants, plants can prepare the food material, especially in the presence of sunlight, through a photosynthesis. So here, sun is the main source of energy on this earth. Sun is the main source of energy on this earth. From the sun, they take the sunlight. Plants will prepare the food material. On the plants, we animals depend for the food material. So here we are dependent completely on the plants. Animals sometimes directly they will depend on the plants, and sometimes they depend directly they will depend on the plants. Directly depending animals are called as herbivore animals. Herbivore animals will consume only the green plants, especially plant products. These herbivore animals, they consume the plant. When you come to the other animals which are indirectly depending on the plants are known as carnivores. Those are known as carnivores. These carnivores, how they are indirectly depending on the plants means these carnivores depends on the herbivore animals for their food material. What is the food of the herbivore animals? Plants. So herbivore animals, when they are consuming the plants, some of the energy they will store in their body. That plant energy, once again it is consumed by the animals which is stored in the herbivore plants, herbivore animals. So here we animals directly or indirectly we are consuming the plants. We are taking the plants as our food material. We can get the energy only by taking the plant products as our food material. So when you come to this, plants and animals, they are interdependent one and the other, I said. So here next come to the next part of your lesson, that is the food chain. What is meant by food chain? The process of passing of the energy in the form of food from one level to the next level is called as food chain. The process of passing of the energy in the form of food from one level to the another level is known as the food chain. So here you can see the picture in your textbook. See, once if you observe the picture in your textbook, this is the picture. Actually here he has given the animals, but animal picture, but I have written the names. Here you see first level you can find only the plants, plant products, that is carrot, grass and nuts. The first level is the carrot, grass and nuts. These carrots, you see the second level, deer, rabbit, squirrel. Deer, rabbits and squirrel. This deer can eat the carrot, it can eat the grass, okay, and these carrots are taken by the rabbit, grass is taken by the rabbit and nuts are also taken by the rabbit. And here say in the second level corner you can see the squirrel. Squirrel also depends on the nuts for their food material. So almost all the second level animals are depending on the plants for their food material. Next comes to the third level. Here you can see in the third level bear, snake, owl, fox and wolf. These are depending on the second level animals. So here deer can be eaten by the bear and deer can be eaten by the wolf. Rabbit can be taken as a food by the snake. Snake is not taking the grass directly, but it is taking the rabbit as a food material. So here rabbit is directly depending on the grass. So snake is indirectly depending on the grass for its food material. So owl, rabbit is taken as a food material by the owl. This rabbit is taken as a food material by the fox. Rabbit can be eaten by the wolf. So automatically what is happening? This food chain, you can see how it is passing from first level to second level to third level. So here what is happening? The energy is passing from one level to the another level. So now here when you come to the food chain, in the food chain you can find the three levels in a food chain. First one is the producers, second one is the consumers, and third one is the decomposers. Producers, in the word itself we are having the meaning producing. What it is producing? It is producing the food material. Who will produce the food material? In the before part I said plants will produce the food material. So plants are called as the producers as they produce the food material for other living organisms in an ecosystem. Next one is the, here when you come to the producers example, best example is the plants, algae and cyanobacteria. Blue-green algae, cyanobacteria are the best example for the producer. Next one is these producers completely they depend on the sunlight for preparing that food material. Next one is the consumers. The animals which depend on the plants are known as the consumers. Once again, consumers are also divided into three levels, that is primary, secondary and tertiary, that we can learn afterwards. But you remember, consumer, consume. What it will consume? It will consume the plant products. So best example for this is cow, sheep, goat, rabbit, etc. You can include. And last but not least is the decomposers. Decompose means degrading. What it will degrade? Who will degrade? The bacteria, fungus will depend on these producers and consumers, and once again they will return all the nutrients which are produced in the producers and consumers to the soil. So the main function of the decomposers is to return the nutrients once again into the soil. That is why the decomposers are also known as the recyclers. What they will recycle? Whatever the nutrients are present in the dead plants and animals, once again it is returned into the soil. That nutrients, once again it is taken by the plants, again it prepares the food material, once again it is consumed by the consumers, and after that death once again it is returned to the soil. So this cycle will be going on. That is why these decomposers are known as the recyclers. These decomposers are known as the recyclers. So this is the food chain. Food chain means nothing but the process of passing of the energy in the form of food from one level to the other level is known as food chain. In the food chain, three levels you can find: producer, example plants; consumer is a cow, sheep, goat, rabbit. You can include decomposers and recyclers. Best example is the bacteria and fungus. Bacteria and fungus. Thank you.